Hello, I'm Jimmy Carr. Good, well, thank you very much. When I told my mum I wanted to grow up and be a comedian, she said, "You can't do both." I'm British, of course, and what makes Britain great is our ability to laugh at ourselves. When I say ourselves, I mean other people. And when I say laugh, I mean invade. My girlfriend said she wanted me to tease her. I said, "All right, fatty." I was doing a gig a couple of weeks ago. I got talking to a girl in the front row. I asked her her name. She said, "It's Pataka." I said, "That's an unusual name. You don't hear that every day." To which she replied, "Actually, I do." My girlfriend said to me, she said, "Jimmy, we're at a crossroads in our relationship. And down one road is hard work and commitment, but ultimately, happiness. And down the other road, well, the other road is a dead end." And I said, "That's not a crossroads, that's a T-junction." Well, I'm glad you laughed. She went crazy. Men are no good at stopping and asking for directions. Would you agree with that, ladies? Well, I put my hand up to that. We are no good at stopping and asking for directions. Of course, on the other hand, maybe we wouldn't have to if you could read a bloody map. I said to my girlfriend, I said, "You shouldn't eat before you go swimming." She said, "Why is that?" I said, "You look fat." Easy, easy. I'm being misogynistic for comic effect. I'm obviously not a misogynist. I'm actually a very modern man. I've got no problem buying tampons, but apparently they're not a proper present. Happy birthday, Mum. It says super on the box. I don't know what you want. Sex is always better in hotels. Have you noticed that? Sex is always better in hotels. Why is that? Is it because it's with a hooker? Yeah, that's it. I saw a story in the local paper about an 87-year-old woman marrying a 93-year-old man. Is it wrong that I looked at that and thought, that's not going to last? I worry about my grandmother. If she's alone in the house and she falls, does she make a sound? What happens if you spill carpet cleaner? Montreal, do you know what you're meant to do if you're stung by a jellyfish? Do you know what you're meant to do? Shout out. That's exactly right. You're meant to pee on it. I went on holiday, everyone else knew, I didn't know. They told me, they said, if you get stung by a jellyfish, you're meant to pee on it. I'll tell you this much, it doesn't work as well on shark bites. The boy's family were livid. Apparently, once they've been dead a couple of hours, there is nothing you can do. Do you know what you're meant to do if you're attacked by a bear? You're meant to play dead. Do you know why you're meant to play dead? It's to get you used to how you're going to be in a minute. According to a new bit of scientific research, apparently women can tell if a man wants a baby just by looking at the shape of his face. Presumably if it's like this, that means he doesn't want a baby. And if it's like this, it means the conception will involve a turkey baster. People ask me, what were you like at school? So I tell them, I was a little black girl. I had a great cab driver the other day in Montreal. He was driving along. He was very happy. He was whistling and smiling in a very good mood. He said, I love my job. I'm my own boss. Nobody tells me what to do. I said, left here. I was in the airport. Those treadmills they've got are huge. They're much better than the ones in the grocery store. I get very self-conscious. One of my favorite things to do in the world, you know the animal rights people you get in the street? You get these animal rights people and they've got a little kiosk they set up and they've got terrible, horrible posters put up, taken in laboratories where they're doing experiments on animals. Have you all seen those? They're horrible. You're out doing your shopping and you see them on the street. They're images of emaciated dogs in tiny cages and rabbits that have been shaved with wires coming out of them, a monkey missing the top of its head, but you can tell it's still alive. They're doing some sort of neurological test, and a cat that's having stuff put in its eyes to test whether it's safe for us. Well, what I like to do on an afternoon, if I'm bored and I'm at the shops and I'm walking down the street and I see one of those kiosks, I walk up to it and say, I'll have the one of the monkey, please. Did you know you're 8 times more likely to get mugged in Montreal than you are in New York City? It's because you don't live in New York City. Boxers don't have sex before a fight. Do you know why that is? They don't fancy each other. If we're all God's children, what's so special about Jesus? Of course, you may be wondering about my accent. Of course, technically, I don't have an accent. I'm from England. This is just how things sound when they're pronounced properly. When someone recommends a book to me and they say it's a page-turner, I always think, yeah, I know how books work. I met a girl that was scared of dwarves, so I asked her, are you also scared of normal people when they're far away? Women like to dance with men because women think if they dance with a man, they'll be able to tell what he's like in the bedroom. And it is a good indicator. I tend to dance for about 30 seconds, then have a bit of a cry. There are 10 million obese children in America today. It's a frightening fact, isn't it? 10 million obese children. Do you realize if they all jumped up and down at the same time, they might lose a little bit of weight? It's the excuses that get me. It's water retention. It's cake retention. It's a thyroid problem. What are you taking for that? Pies? The camera adds 10 pounds. Stop eating bloody cameras. I told my girlfriend my ultimate sexual fantasy was to have 2 women at the same time. And she agreed. But then she was very upset when I told her she wasn't either of them. I was in the supermarket, it said buy 2, get 1 free, but I only wanted 1, so I took the free one. I bought my girlfriend a book called Cheap and Easy Vegetarian Cooking, which is ideal for her because not only is she a vegetarian, they say travel broadens the mind, except for with Americans, where it tends to widen the arse. When I was at school, I had a friend called Anthony. Well, I'm not proud of this, but it happened. We were at a party, we were quite drunk. He was very drunk, he passed out, and myself and another friend, we shaved his eyebrows off. He was really surprised. But you couldn't tell. My favorite thing about natural disasters, and I know it's wrong to have a list, certainly getting it laminated was a mistake. But my favourite thing about natural disasters is they call them acts of God, and then 2 days later, they have a day of prayer. So they have a day of prayer for an act of God. How does that prayer go? Dear Lord, what the hell was that all about?
Hello, I'm Jimmy Carr and I'm announcing my new tour. It's called Jimmy Carr Laughs Funny, because there'll be laughs and it'll be funny, and because I laugh funny. Come and see me. Go to jimmycarr.com for details, dates and tickets and all that kind of thing. You know how to buy tickets. Go and buy some tickets.